When you visit a professor during their office hours, you're there to talk about the class or your grade. But have you ever just talked about their life, their journey? On Texas State's new podcast, Office Hours, listen to students like me chat with professors they've never met to dig deep into their lives, how they got to where they are today, and advice that lasts. You never know what you might learn from a simple conversation. So listen on Apple Music or Spotify. Episodes released every other Wednesday.
Hi y'all, my name is Giselle and I'm the digital marketing strategist here at Texas State University. You're listening to Try at Texas State, and today's episode is all about our radio station, KTSW 89.9. KTSW has been around since the 90s, a college radio focused on showcasing underground bands and live music events, keeping the Bobcat community up to date on recent happenings at the university from news to sports and everything in between. I got to speak with Dan Schumacher, the general manager of KTSW since 2001. Dan is a tattooed, energetic music connoisseur from Nebraska, and he's so much cooler than you and I both. Okay, let's get going. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Giselle.
How are you?
It's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. It's been a pretty good week, so I think, pretty good.
One day closer to Friday. So for those that don't know you, can you please introduce yourself and tell me what you do here at Texas State, how long you've been at KTSW, and what your role is there?
My name is Dan Schumacher. I have been at Texas State University for just over 22 years. I'm the general manager and faculty advisor for KTSW 89.9, the other side of radio, the student-run radio station here at Texas State. And then I'm also a senior lecturer in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Wonderful. How long has KTSW been around?
KTSW signed on the air April 15th of 1992, and its predecessor, KAT Radio, started about 10 years before that, back in 1982.
Very cool. Awesome. So going more into you, how did you get involved in the radio industry?
Way back when I was growing up, we would listen to the radio a lot. I have always been a big music fan since, elementary school, basically. My dad taught music, so I kind of had that built in, but I took it from there. I tended to have a voice that was really good and a personality. I am very outgoing. Raging extrovert, basically, is how I refer to myself sometimes. I had DJ'd in different establishments around my hometown, and it was like when it came time to go to school, it's like, what do I want to do? Well, I just want to be a DJ, I think, and get into radio. And so it just happened to work out. Yeah.
That's awesome. What was your DJ moniker?
DJ Dan.
DJ Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, straight to the point. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys have other positions other than just DJing. So can you kind of go into that? Because I'd love to learn more about what other positions and roles students can have at the radio station.
Absolutely, yeah. We need to be much more than a radio station, because radio, the opportunities in radio these days are not as plentiful as they were when I was younger, even when I was going to college. And the students have changed, and the opportunities have changed as well for our students. So we give them opportunities to learn to do social media in a professional setting. You record in studios, doing audio and video for in studios, sports broadcasting. So they have the opportunity to do talk shows, to go out and report on the games, do sports photography. We have a podcast. And then, of course, we do live play-by-play broadcasts as well. We have music programming. Music journalism is a thing in our blog. Regular writing for our blog, commentary, opinion pieces, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I was checking out those album reviews. Those are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading up on that when you guys recently did the Barbie one, and I thought that was really cool. So whenever you see the logo KTSW 89.9, it says the other side of the radio. Can you explain what the other side is?
The other side of radio, well, college radio typically is an indie type of format, an alternative type of format. It is something other than the mainstream, and that's something we try to emphasize. The walls have been broken down a little bit. When we talk about traditional radio, it's very formatted. We are very broad. We sometimes play the same artists that are on commercial radio stations, but we want to play tracks by them that are not the ones that are on the more popular stations or the more popular tracks. We want to play stuff that maybe is a bit more challenging, and artists that people are not familiar with. So it gives us a chance to expose our audience to local artists who are looking to try to establish their careers, get people to show up at their shows and track their tracks on Spotify or whatever platform they have, basically, so they can derive some income from that. Want to work with the lesser recognized artists. So it's, outside of the mainstream. It's a little more fringy.
So speaking about those lesser known artists and the San Marcos bands you guys have, did you have any of these San Marcos bands come in and play for the first time on your radio and then make it big?
Before I was here, I know that Blue October. There it is. Blue October was a band that was based in San Marcos.
I had no idea.
And actually, I was digging through some files the other day and came across the interview, the Blue October interview from way back when. So this is part of my archiving of a lot of the things that the radio station has and getting them on our website that I want to do. But Blue October is a band that, when they were based in San Marcos, they would come on the air and did IDs and those kinds of things. So
that's mind-boggling to me. That's crazy. I used to listen to them in middle school a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, have been a bunch over the years that have kind of gone on to find at least regional, if not even national success. So it's cool.
That's fantastic. But speaking about those events that you guys have, you're saying that you had it in Old Main, but you guys hold live events too, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that the students do. It's promotional activities, promotional events. It can be something on campus. We go off campus from time to time and promote events. A regular event that we've had for a little more than a year has been Third Thursday at the Porch.
For sure. So going more back to your students,
Yes.
I know a lot of your staff right now is mass comm majors,
Mm-hmm.
but do you have to be a mass comm major to be a part of KTSW?
No, you do not. When we send our email out to all undergraduate and graduate students a couple of times a year when we're doing our hiring periods for the spring semester or the summer and fall semester, we open up to all students.
What kind of steps are you guys taking to keep radio alive right now?
I think, especially when we're talking about our younger demographics, our younger audiences, they're looking for more than just kind of what radio has done for so many years. First of all, we kind of want to bring some of the things back from the past that were popular, like call in to make a request. We're trying to make that connection with students. So trying to make it very personable. So we offer that extra, we interviews on the air, interviews with people from campus, around town, other students, whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, when you talked about the call-in thing, I thought it was super cool because I got to visit with my intern, Tony, and we got to sit in on the Other Side Drive with Reese, who is DJ Lils.
Thursday afternoon. I'm DJ Lils.
And I am Tony.
That is our resident DJ.
And I got to call in a song, and I thought that was great because the last time I did that, I think I was probably 6, and I did it on Disney Channel.
By the way, this is Other Side Drive, so you know what to do. You can call in and request a song at 512-245-3473.
Speaking about the Other Side Drive, what other shows do you guys have?
We have Bobcat Radio, which is a Texas State and San Marcos High School oriented sports talk show from 11 to 11:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have specialty shows where students will propose a 2-hour show and sometimes even a 1-hour show of some particular genre of music, or our music department has started producing a kind of a new music show as well, which is an hour or 2 hours. Or there will be a local show where they will interview bands and have interviews that go on the air, and there will be performances as part of that as well. We do syndicated programming in the morning from 7 till 8 every day, which is programming that's produced by other radio stations around the United States, and we even had somebody from overseas that was producing program at one point in time that was going on the air, and that's everything from science to a show called Away with Words.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
Away with Words is a blast.
When I was doing my research before we went into this interview, when I saw that you guys played Away with Words, it like warmed my heart because I was an NPR kid. So my mom, for radio, my dad would be playing classical like music, all like this Tchaikovsky and stuff like that in the morning to calm him down before work. Mm-hmm. And then my mom would be playing NPR super loud while she was making breakfast. So that's my childhood. What advice would you give to a student that wants to get involved into KTSW or has like never even worked or touched radio work ever before in their life?
Apply. Yeah. Look at all the positions when we take applications, which are usually during October and March in any given calendar year. Look at all the available positions and see what it is that might interest you. Be prepared to make a full semester or a full term commitment. I say term because sometimes students come in just for the summer and they're here for summer 1 and summer 2. And try something out. See how it clicks. And we hear this from time to time where, actually regular, more often than that, where a student will say, I came in and I was going to do this, and I started looking around, or I talked to somebody who was doing this, and I thought that was great, so I thought I would try that out. And that just clicks,
Yeah, it's very much going in a line with the name of the series, Try at Texas State. Just try it. You never know what could happen out of it. And then you have documented growth too, just like you were saying. You can see your growth from maybe if you start as a freshman and you go throughout it as a senior, you can look back and hear your shows from then to now. That would be wild. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's something you can, your friends can be out there listening to, goof on you later when you mess up or whatever, or you save your air checks and put them in your personal archive, and 20 years down the road, you've got your kid saying, hey, listen to me, this is when I was in college.
That's awesome. So before we wrap this all up, I wanted to ask you if you could give me any recommendation of an album, an artist, or a song that I should listen to, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. A band that I sometimes fall back on. The second radio station that I was the advisor to. It was actually where I did my undergraduate work at a small state college in northeast Nebraska, Wayne State College. When I advised there was a band that came out from Chicago called Soul Coughing.
Soul Coughing.
They kind of hit the big time maybe on like their second or third record with a song called Super Bon Bon.
Okay.
But their first record called Ruby Varoom is truly just weird.
Yeah. Whenever I left from visiting y'all, I was listening to the radio station and I definitely wrote down a couple of the songs and put them on my playlist. So I will definitely be looking up Soul Coughing.
It's a big old world of music out there. There's a lot to discover. So
there certainly is. Well, thank you, Dan. I've really appreciated it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Giselle. Thanks for having me in.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you so much to Dan Schumacher for coming on the show and giving me all the inside scoop of KTSW. And thanks so much for that one song recommendation for Soul Coughing. Yeah, I definitely listened to it. I don't hate it, actually. I liked it a little bit. I'm still kind of diving into that alternative rock type of beat. I give it a 7.5. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'll update you if I find anything else cool, because I have been listening to Other Side Drive every now and then, and you know what? There are definitely some songs that I've been adding to my playlist. Anyways, yeah, thanks, Dan. And thank you for listening to this episode of the Try at Texas State podcast. Make sure to tune in next time to learn more about something else you can try on campus at Texas State. And also remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at TXST. This podcast is a production of the Division of Marketing and Communications at Texas State University. Podcasts appearing on the Texas State University Network represent the views of the hosts and guests, not of Texas State University. Again, I'm your host, Giselle Kowalski, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.